These are just some elements of partial things I'm writing in a dark journal I've been keeping. Like, I'll even read some of it for you occasionally and will attempt to update you all periodically as this descent continues. As far as this book is concerned, if you didn't pick up on me saying it, I've been working on writing something like a large secret book or journal for about 15 years. It started around 2010, 2011. And that's also about the blasted was seeing serious since time that these remnant motherfuckers started ramping up their following of me as well. But these little videos here are something more like a vlog. My writing back in remnant days, it started off innocently enough with me just writing some thoughts on my office Mac computer, like questioning things in a big scale sort of way, big sweeping things like Christianity or doubts about it, or even thoughts on God or Satan or something like that. And these written words, they weren't overly negative about remnant yet, but I, like a completely naive Christian dumbass, was writing on my way down office computer, which happened to be on their disturbing networking sick intranet. And then I realized that their IT persons who were working for Gwen were logging onto my desktop computer remotely and copying her on exactly what I was writing on an almost daily basis, and basically in real time too. With Gwen being the creepiest person on the earth, she let me know she was getting to see what I was writing in the most disturbing way possible. Now, this was during a brief time period where Gwen was taking her personal assistants and drinking friends out to dinner like almost nightly, like J. Alexander's and places like that. And I would personally join fairly often. And when we were there, she started literally verbatim repeating the exact, and I mean exact words to the table, which I just had written like that afternoon. And then I saw that after she would say it, which was fucking pissing me off, she would give me like a weird smirk or like a nasty look after. Now, she would be drinking pretty heavily and somehow getting the words out, saying these things, even if she was slightly slurring her words. And so the first time it happened, I was like, in my head, like, was this some fucked up sort of coincidence? Like, what are the odds? How is it possible? And then it happened 2 or 3 more times over the next few weeks. And I figured out what was happening, and that basically freaked me out. It was horrifying. So after that, I quit writing anything negative like that on my office computer and instantly started looking how to buy a small black laptop that I could keep hidden, like something I could put in a bag. And also, now something else which I mentioned, so of course all the monitoring, which I talked about before, it had already been going on. So once I saw this, then that increased considerably as well. So it was like one of those things where it's like she knew that I knew that she knew type thing, if that makes sense. There was something else too that happened a little bit later on my office computer, which was also horrifying. Now, I didn't quite think everything through at that time period. Like, I still figured some of my passwords were secure and stuff like that. And they found a Gmail folder that I'd been keeping with recordings I'd been secretly taking. And they remotely deleted everything. It was horrible. It was the worst fucking day because security was now pissed off. And I lost some seriously crazy stuff. And side note about the writings, This was the kind of things that ticked me off. Now, as a matter of fact, right as Gwen found how I was writing, like the style, she apparently liked the fonts and the stylistic way I was doing the words and paragraphs. So she started using the exact same font and style directly for her new History of the One True God book, which came out months later. Just a couple of months later. I was using certain black Gothic fonts like Lucida Blackletter at the beginnings of each of my sections, and she, bitch that she was, copied the exact same looks and fonts on her huge Within the Remnant book at the beginning of sections and chapters and all over the place. You Remnant people would know what I'm talking about. And all you Gwen worshiping witches, bitches, who think Gwen was behind everything she put out, or who may not believe me on that, I don't really care what you fucking think. This is how it actually happened. She copied all sorts of fucking people all the damn time. So fuck off with your Christian witch Gwen worship. Also, can I just say that that book, with its History of the One True God title, is the dumbest ass concept I've ever heard. Or it's the world's most arrogant, narcissistic book concept ever. Like, this pseudo-Christian witch practicing Southern woman knew the whole history of God or something. It's insane. Anyways, I'm still writing significant things I feel that need to be written down in my now extremely dark and hard to read journal. But like I said, these are just vlogs as I continue feeling more and more hopeless. Now, just an aside, if you pick up that I'm reading this, like my eyes moving, it's because I wrote these things down. But I just don't want to have to fucking try to remember every point. So, sorry if that's distracting. But as it turns out, so I've started basically just writing in the darkness at this horrible with feeling isolated point. It sounds depressing, and I can also honestly say I've never felt so completely exhausted in my life. But I've started taking sertraline, which is Zoloft. I'm sure you all know that, which has been recommended by multiple people. So we'll have to see how this works out. And it was due to stress, of course, which has been constantly problematic. And it's, in my estimation, taken a huge toll on my health. But as of yet, it just makes me feel strange or weird. And I'm not in the least like feeling happy, as you can probably guess. But sertraline supposedly increases serotonin levels in the body. And it takes a long while to build up. So I'll keep you all posted how it progresses. But if I'm being truthfully honest at this point, I don't even think I want to feel happy, or whatever the hell that means. What is happy? Like, it would seem like it's false high or something. And I just don't know what the point is anymore. As I've said before, there's truthfully no existing hope within my sick with seeing women abuse men heart. The paralyzing mindfuck feelings from sleep medication have failed to knock me out or give rest. It's not that they don't have some effect, but it's like I simply feel like I'm taking it just to get a couple of hours or something, some relief, or block the thoughts. But it's mind fucking, just like the insane radio station that keeps buzzing. It's been such a messed up, fucking, pathetic life. And I've been having nightmares for as long as I can remember. Horrible nightmares. And waking up can be another nightmare at times too. And there's also something like this emptiness, which is a horrible feeling. And it's maybe the worst thing. It's like impossible to describe. It's the worst thing ever. And it feels like there's this large empty hole right in the middle of my torso. Years ago, when I was trying to be a good little Christian, or whatever that is, I would feel maybe something like guilt, maybe temporarily if I messed up with doing the right thing. Or as Gwen and Remnant put it, I made God look bad. But with all of the pseudo-Christian harsh controlling rules that were placed on us, we all haven't ever felt like figuring out things on our own, right? But so that was guilt, but this horrible emptiness is something worse. And it's continued my frustration with how this cult, with its women who control everything and everyone, as well as Christianity, destroyed my life.